We don't have to go outside to other cities and shop or go out to eat and things like that. So that's what's important, and that's what we need to pay for. We need to bring in retail. Sales tax dollars is where the real money is at, and that's how we're going to fund more for the fire and police officers and things like that. That's how we're going to bring the money in and maintain our infrastructure.
Thank you. Mr. Carrillo, with all the new development in the former Monrovia Nursery, the downtown area, Foothill Shopping Center, how do you plan to meet the demand for the increased needs on all city services such as police, fire, public works, etc.?
Thank you. 2 points of clarification. Can you hear me? 2 points of clarification. It was said earlier that Rosedale was not going to have Mallory's. There is going to be Mallory's. It's actually called CFDs, Community Facilities District. It's a tax on the community members of Rosedale that will pay for their own infrastructure. So the city of Azusa is not eating the cost of the infrastructure that is going into the development at Rosedale. The folks who buy into Rosedale will be paying for their own infrastructure. Number one. Number two, let's talk about the parks real quick. So we keep calling them parks, and yes, they're called parks. Some of those parks that aren't getting restrooms are no larger than the size of this auditorium. We already have existing places that we call parks in Azusa without bathrooms. We have Canyon City Park, which is at the corner of Sierra Madre and San Gabriel, which is a strip of grass with a bench. We have what we call a park on 5th and Azusa Avenue, and one on 6th and Azusa Avenue. Technically, those are called parks. They're not full parks as what we're typically used to seeing with slides, with swings, and so forth. They're strips of grass, okay? Nothing more. Number two, how are we going to pay for this? Well, yeah, the economic tax base that is generated from the sales tax from bringing in these stores. We need to get the stores, we need to get the businesses here that are going to produce sales tax revenue. The property taxes that are being generated from these new residential units are also supplying a substantial amount of paying for infrastructure and for law enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Chagnon. With all the new development in the former Monrovia Nursery, the downtown area, Foothill Shopping Center, how do you plan to meet the demand for the increased needs on all city services such as police, fire, public works, etc.?
Well, some of those things we're already doing. Some of those things, like our pavement management plan, was brought up earlier. Our pavement management plan is something that we've been implementing over the last 5 years, because we systematically looked at our community and we looked at our infrastructure from the underground, and we said, where do we need new sewers? Where do we need our electrical upgrades to take place? And what is the condition of our streets in those areas? And we, for the last 4 years, we have 1 year left, we have set aside money for the funding of it. We have implemented it. It has come in on time and on budget. And this past year, even when costs went up so high with regards to asphalt, we funded the additional increases, and our year 4 pavement management plan was completed on time, and we increased the budget to do it. So we're already keeping up with our pavement infrastructure. I've had the privilege of swearing in 11 new police officers. They're going through training. They will be hitting the streets as we speak. They're in training now. Some are already out. Some are in the academy. As new residents come online, we will have new police officers. We are building a new water filtration plant. We've already built a new electric substation. We're keeping up with our infrastructure. As Angel said and Uriel said, he was a key role when he was our treasurer. The community facilities districts that are established so that in these new communities that we, the existing community of Azusa, we do not pay for the public improvements that are taking place. These developments have to be what's called fiscally neutral, meaning that they don't generate any additional need for us to pay out of pocket for these additional goods and services.